Hey, Bobby Hickey here, and I'm going to create video games. So you're probably thinking, man, that guy looks a little old to be thinking about making video games. And, some of you maybe think that's right. But guess what? I believe that you're never too old to start something new. Maybe it's the creativeness. I've always been one to create stuff and characters and stories. So in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and why I believe not only are we going to create a video game, but we're going to create a studio. And right now I have multiple games planned. Yeah, I know it's a little crazy. Believe me, the guys working with me in the studio thinks it's a little crazy too, but hey. Back in my early 20s, I created comic books. And comic books, when you did it your own, it's sort of like indie game. We did indie comics. I got a slew of characters that I've created. I used to travel around. You're going to see a photo here of me in front of my old Volkswagen Bug, and packed up with books and display boards on top of it, heading off to a convention. And it didn't matter what I was driving or what I had at the time. I'd pack it up and head out to a convention and try to share what I was creating. And I even got into selling some books and stuff like that a couple of times. I started selling back issue comics at flea markets to sort of make some extra money while I was creating characters and self-publishing. I've opened up comic book stores. About 6 or 7 years ago, I opened up another business, and it quickly evolved into a video game store. My brother and I own the video game store for the past 3 or 4 years, and it's been a lot of fun to learn. Not only do we learn a lot about video games, but we also learn a lot about consoles and controllers and stuff like that. And in the past year, we've really been focusing on indie games and how to bring in more indie games into our store. So that got me thinking, okay, I used to make comic books, tell stories, had a blast doing it. What if I took those characters and moved them over to a video game? What would be the process? So about 6 or 8 months ago, I started doing some research. I bought a course. Thomas Brush has a course called Time GameDev. It's a great course. Thomas uses Unity, Photoshop, probably a couple other programs in there. A lot of resources. I've gone through probably 3/4 of it. I'm going to go through it all again. So we're taking a lot of that information now, implementing it. Our team is 2 people or 3 people at the moment. It's myself. I'm doing more of the creative work, design work, character designs. I'll be working on assets, sort of mapping out the whole layout of the first game. And then there's Clay, who's working on PR and marketing. He is setting up our social media, our Discord, and he'll be working with me directly on some funding. And we have Joe, who are lead animator. We just picked up Toon Boom, I think is the software that he's going to do. We're going to do right now. We're looking at a 2D animation. We're wanting that comic book feel to it, since that's sort of my background. The game is definitely going to have a comic book feel to it. Not that I'm saying we're going to convert a comic book into a game. That's not what we're doing. We're going to create a game. And what we want is that look. If I had to compare it, I would say Hollow Knight is one that has a lot of the line art. It's just beautiful. Their mood, their atmosphere, everything they've done, it's great. And then there's Dead Cells, which is a really great design game. It's got that more of the rastered look than I will do, I believe, at this time. At this time, it's going to be more illustration like Hollow Knight. And then I've been playing those 2 games, and then I'm playing Wonder Labyrinth, A Record of Lotus Wars. I've been playing it, and here again, it's another great, beautiful game. I've had a lot of fun playing that game, and there's a couple of them, other ones out there I'm playing. So as you can guess by those games, this is going to be like a Metrovania side stroller. Definitely has a huge story built behind it, and if it's up to me, this will be a trilogy of games. I've got at least 2 other games roughed out. It's a group of characters that I originally created for a comic book. I did an online strip. I think we did like 80 strips or something online with these characters. And then I did a comic book with them. One thing we're going to do with that comic book is we're actually going to share it over on our patrons page. And we'll be posting like a page a week over there. We'll also be sharing the pencil versions along with the finished comic. So I think it's about 12-15 pages. So, you know, over the next few months, we'll get the whole story there. And this comic is the prequel to the first game. So that's the basics of what we're building. We're going to build a studio. We're looking for Unity programmers. I'm not going to take out the time to learn Unity at this point in time. If I had to break down who works best, is that mine is better at being creative, doing some artwork, learning the basics of the whole business. I'm not going to take the 2 year or longer it's going to take to learn Unity before we can really move on. I'd rather move things along quicker. So we're looking to hire, taking applications for Unity programmers, 2 and 3D, 2D and 3D animation for Unity programming. As things progress along, we'll be sharing more over the Skystorm Games YouTube channel. There'll be a link below. There'll be links for everything below, like for the Patreon, for the Discord once it's live, for our channel. So if you like any of this, you want to see some old guy create a game studio and just share all the process, then please subscribe, please hit the bell, and we'll see you on the next show. Take care. Bye.